So I don't know if this is something that is normal as we grow up, as we get older, as we age, as we experience life a little bit more, as we experience different things, different journeys, different aspects of life. Or it could be possibly because of the rise of social media, phones, technology. But the feeling that, or this is what I'm feeling at least, as we get older, or as I get older, you start to realize how corrupt, how cruel, how fucked up this world is. You realize how negative a lot of the things that are around you are. You realize how just messed up a lot of the things that you never paid attention to, that you never actually noticed, right? When you're younger, when you're a teen, when you're a little kid, a lot of the things you don't really notice. I don't know. When people say ignorance is bliss, when people say that term, I didn't know what it meant for the longest. But I feel like as we're a kid, as we grow up, ignorance is truly bliss. Ignorance is truly where you have that happiness. The less you know what's going on around you as being what's going on in the world, the the less you feel obligated to that, the less you feel attached to that. For example, a couple of weeks ago or beginning of this year, right? You got the fires going on in California. You got earthquakes going on in Maine. You just got a bunch of shit. You got planes crashing. And I don't even turn the news on. The only reason I'm just up to date on these things is because when I go upstairs and my grandma just has the news on, right? And you just see all these negative things. The news is always filled with information that you don't want, or that I don't want at least. You never turn the news on and it's some good news about life, some good news about what's going on in the world. But back to my point, it feels like as I'm getting older, I'm being filled with all this negative information about the world. And when you're a kid, right, you don't care about other than what's going on around you. The only thing you really had to worry about was doing your homework and making sure you banged it out for tomorrow. You didn't care about what's going on with the presidential election. You don't care about what's going on in Africa, what's going on in Spain, what's going on across the US. You don't care about none of that. You just care about what's literally in front of you in that present moment. And I feel like as a kid, that's where a lot of my joy was. I still obviously have joy, like a lot of joy. I'm not saying I'm like depressed or anything like that. I'm just saying my joy as a kid came from a lot of the little things. My joy as a kid came from just simply going outside, just chilling with my boys. Like we don't even have no plan. We're just chilling, talking, just existing. Just every day is a different moment. Every day is just all right. Like what do we got? You wake up. Say it's the summertime. You wake up, no school, no responsibilities. I would ride my bike down the street to my boy's house. Right? You wake up, no responsibilities, and you're just living life. You're living lavish because you don't have anything you really need to worry about. You're not indulged in all the nonsense. Well, I think it's nonsense that is going around the world. And maybe it's the rise of social media, right? Like when we were a kid, or when I was a kid, at least I'm 27. I'm not old by any means. But 15 years ago, social media wasn't really as big as it was now. So we weren't up to date on all the news, on all the. We couldn't just open our phone and know what's going on in China. We can't open our phone knowing what's going on in Florida, going on in New York. It was like an actual process. If you really wanted to research some information, you had to Google it. It's not like how it is now. Now you get alerts on your phone. Earthquake here. The president did this. So and so got assassinated. This kid is shooting up this school. Maybe it's the rise of social media, right? It's the rise of just technology. You have instant access to everything on one simple device. You have access to the world essentially in your hands. Maybe it's the information overload. I just want to go back to the way, and I know I can, go back to the ways of essentially being ignorant to the things that are around you, being ignorant as in not feeling like you have to be so connected to all the world's problems, not feeling like I'm the type of person when I see something bad, like plane crashing, like here, there, you feel like it feels a lot closer to home, right, than it actually is because you're just turning on your TV screen, you're pulling up your phone, and you see a half broken plane in the middle of the water. And then it just fills your mind with like, yo, this is what's really going on. Like it's good to have knowledge on things, but I feel like it's also good to be isolated at the same time, being mentally isolated from all that's going on and actually enjoying the things that are in front of you, actually and being present in the actual moment and not being addicted to the things that are on the screen. But maybe it is a part of growing up. You just, now that you have more responsibilities, you have more things going on in your life, you need to stay up to date. But I don't really think you need to know what's going on in the world at all times. I don't think you need to know every little thing that's going on. Ignorance is truly, I believe, actually bliss. Ignorance is being ignorant, not in like a ignorant to like other people's cultures, not that type of ignorant, being ignorant as in the sense of not always needing to know what is going on. Like say for example, you go into work, they're talking about the latest sports game that just went on. There was a football game last night, or there's maybe a political debate. Like you don't need to be in tune on every little thing that's going on. You don't need to be, when they're having those conversations right at work, you don't need to have a input. You don't need to know what's going on. You don't need to know what's going on at all times about every little thing that's going on in the world, because in my mind it just creates anxiety for me. It creates a life of, damn, like our world is really fucked, and it makes it seem like the world is just a bad place when in reality it's not. It's just the things that you're seeing, the things that are in front of you, puts the world in that type of light. When you're surrounded by bad things that are in front of you, even though it's not bad, it just seems like everything around you is of the same source, is of that negative light, because that's all you're seeing. But in reality, you're not seeing all the good. You're not seeing all the positive that's even going around in your town, right? You're worried about something that's a thousands of miles away from you when there's good shit going on in your household at that, in your town, you know? Maybe, I think it's a little bit of both. Maybe as we get older and the addition of just having these phones, right? Are just making it, I don't know, just more people are just being anxious about what's going on with the world. I know I'm one of them. And I just try to not worry or not care essentially about what's going on. I'm just trying to focus on me, because at the end of the day, like it might sound fucked up, but like how is that impacting my life? The shit that's going on 10,000 miles or whatever away. Like, why I'm going to stress, why I'm going to worry about something that doesn't belong to me. You know what I'm saying? it's like you can be a generous person, like caring about other people, but I'm saying in a different type of sense. I'm talking about like worldly issues that have no that shouldn't matter to you, you know? And I think it's that information overload that's going on with the phones. I try to not be on it. Like I'm on YouTube only to really post, and then I try not to indulge, consume YouTube myself because like I try. My thing is to always be present in what's in front of you. Just be locked in 100% on your own problems, right? Or the problems of your immediate family, your family in general. But not always feeling like the problems of others are always yours, you know? That's why I believe ignorance is truly bliss. If you can just say you just get away, right? You're in an isolated area, disconnected from the world, even for a day, a couple hours. Just get away from your phone for a couple hours, just disconnect. You don't need to know what's going on all the time. Just disconnect for a little bit. Try it out. I try to do that on the weekends, just disconnect from my phone. Excuse me. Disconnect from my phone. And I let the people around me know like I'm not going to be connected right now. Like I need to connect with myself in this moment. I don't know, but in my mind that inner kid is always going to be inside me. I always connect to that kid. I always connect to that person that found meaning in the things that, the simple things, essentially. The simple things of, the, say, for example, right? You know, when you go to a new place, a new location, say you fly on to vacation somewhere, say you go to a tropical area and you're from New York, for example, right? What's the first thing you notice when you go to that tropical area? You notice the trees, you notice the beaches potentially, you notice everything around you, the simple things that you normally take for granted that back at home, like the trees, like the grass, like the nature. You're more in tuned when you're in that new location because it's different. You're more locked in on the little things, the simpler things. You're more locked in on what's going on around you because it's different. It's new to you, right? And I feel like as we get older, we're stuck in these monotonous circles, right? We go to work, we wake up, go to work, come back from work, maybe you watch Netflix, whatever you do, go to sleep, and then you do it all over again. You don't pay, and when you're on your commute, you don't pay attention to the things that are around you. You don't really care because you see them every single day. Because you're in that monotonous, in your mind, you're just going through the motions, going through the motion. Maybe you need something new to spark that interest in you again. You need to take a different route to work. You need to do something, but life is just gonna pass you by if you're just in that monotonous cycle. You have to remember to get back to where you're supposed to be, and that's in the now. A lot of us, when I say a lot of us, I'm just meaning myself. I get stuck in the mental more than the what's around me, and that's the purpose of me making this to hopefully help someone else who's in a similar situation to be more locked in on what's going on with you. You know what's going on around you at the present moment, and get out of your head. So I feel like ignorance is truly bliss. Ignorance is actually bliss when you're less locked in on the things that don't matter, the things that you can't control. You put yourself in a trap. You're in a race with yourself on trying to figure out issues that you don't even need to figure out. Just lock in on what's in front of you. Honestly, forget everything else. And that's when the peace will come. That's when you'll get back into the flow of things. That's when you'll be present. The anxiety disappears, and you'll just enjoy the moments like you were as a kid, and that kid is always inside of you. You could always tap into that version of you, always, at any moment. So just remember that. It's always there. Peace.